Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Sunday, the 20th day of April. This is actually my last chance to speak to you before Pesach ends. The last 2 days, of course, we're in Yom Tov, and so some end of Pesach, sad to say this, but some end of Pesach laws for you. First of all, when you light candles, day and the 8th day if you're outside of Israel, the halacha is that you won't be saying Shehecheyanu over the candles, and that's because Pesach is basically like one block unit of Yom Tov, and we said Shehecheyanu for the Yom Tov already at the beginning of the Yom Tov. You may wonder, well, I said the Shehecheyanu bracha on the first night and the second night of Pesach, so why did I do that? But that's different. That's because the first night was a Shehecheyanu because it was the first night of the Yom Tov, and the second night we said Shehecheyanu because of the uncertainty that used to exist that made it like Jews didn't know whether the first night was the real first night or the second night was the real first night. And so they kept 2 days of Yom Tov, 2 nights, each one acting like it was the first, and therefore Shehecheyanu was appropriately said on each of those first 2 nights. But when you get to the second half, you could call it, of Pesach, we are really in one long Yom Tov, and therefore no Shehecheyanu is appropriate at the ending of the Yom Tov. Just for your interest, it did not work that way back at the holiday of Sukkot, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. First of all, on Sukkot there was a different sacrifice brought every single day, a different type of sacrifice, a different number of animals, and each day was in that regard a separate Yom Tov. And another additional large point in this discussion is that Shmini Atzeres at the end of Sukkot was really a new holiday that was added onto the back of the holiday of Sukkot, and therefore it of course got its own Shehecheyanu. And Simchas Torah night, that night that followed, was again a redo of the Shmini Atzeres night, and so it got its own Shehecheyanu bracha. But Pesach, it's all one holiday, and we explain why you said Shehecheyanu on the first 2 nights, and that explanation does not apply to the last night. So long explanation, short answer: no Shehecheyanu at the candle lighting on the last days of Pesach. No Shehecheyanu at Kiddush either, for that exact same reason. Please make sure also, as the holiday ends, that you don't partake of the chametz that was sold to the non-Jew that's in the closets of your home like 1 minute after Pesach, because the rabbi and the non-Jew need some time to rearrange the sale of all of the chametz back to the rabbi on your behalf, and before it's back in your possession, it's not really appropriate for you to be using it. It would make it look like the whole sale was just a joke, and it's real, and you must wait until it's sold back to you through the rabbi, and he needs some time to do that. How much? It's hard to say exactly, but certainly not 1 minute. It's better to wait something like an hour and a half for the rabbi to be certain to get the whole thing done, and then you could partake of your chametz. Anyway, it's a pretty bad idea to be partaking of your chametz so soon after the holiday, because you should really have all the Pesach stuff carefully put away far from the chametz, and after it's all wrapped up and safe in its Pesach container, closet, or whatever, then it's more appropriate to have the chametz all come out. Thanks for logging on. Have a good last days of the Yom Tov, and meet us on the other side of Yom Tov for important laws that follow immediately when Pesach is over. Bye-bye.